Hello, and welcome to PowerWash Simulator 2. My name is Fee. Let's get going. So this is our brand new office in this brand new game. We have some brand new kitties in here too. This is Squeak, and then that's Bubbles and Ulysses behind us. Ulysses was in the first game, but for those of you that don't know, she ran away from her owner, now she's our cat. I'm sure we'll hear more about that down the line. But while we look around our brand new office, let me introduce myself. As I said, my name is Fee. I have played all of PowerWash Simulator 1, except one DLC pack, so getting through it. I've played every base game level, all the Muckingham files, and all the seasonal maps. So I think I'm pretty good at this kind of game. I've been waiting for this game to come out ever since it was announced. I've been super excited, counting down the days. But we are going to look around. This is our brand new space. We're going to decorate in here. You guys are going to love it. I love this feature, and it's going to be super cool, in my opinion. Yeah, this is our blank slate, and we have our washroom off to the side here. I have lots of fun stuff come through this room. I can feel it. Outside, we've got our trusty van, all our equipment, and this gorgeous view. The visuals in this game are phenomenal. I'm curious if we're going to have to wash our building, if something's going to go terribly wrong and it's going to get covered in muck, but for now, gorgeous, new, clean. Unfortunately, there is an invisible wall here, so we are not going to be able to explore the town. But I'm sure on our jobs we're going to see plenty of the area. For now, let's head on back inside. So all of our jobs are going to be accessed via this map on the wall here. This is the entire county, and each job is going to pop up as a pin on the map, which is a very cool way of doing it in-game, as opposed to just a menu and a progression that way. But here's our first job, the removals van. Let's get started. Now there are going to be some tooltips popping up, so I'm going to be taking care of those as I wash, but the cats are here, of course. They came outside to hang out. I'm curious as to why they covered up all the windows, but maybe they just don't want to render everything inside while there's a job outside, I guess. But we gotta start washing this van. I typically start my jobs from top to bottom because that makes the most sense. You want to get the top stuff on top clean so it doesn't drip down and clean something lower that you've already washed. True to life, in my opinion. Let's get through these tooltips. So there are new controls for this game, but there is an option to have the classic PowerWash Simulator 1 controls. I'm going to learn the new controls. I think there's a lot that this game has to offer. I don't want to get stuck on the old ways, if that makes sense. But as you can see, we already have access to 2 different power washers. I believe these are both light duty, but I will have to double check. Personally, I don't like the free aim mode. It kind of just doesn't work for me. But, you know, that's okay. Everyone has their own preferences. The task list task is not clearing out, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll go eventually. We're just gonna get this roof cleaned. I do like that there's just ambient things flying around. You know, like there's pollen, there's dandelion fluffs, I think there's bugs. It makes the world feel real, if that makes sense. Here's Ulysses. Get our ladder out of the way, and let's get started on this side wall. I do like that we use 2 hands for the extension now. It makes it a lot more sense, in my opinion. So I typically use the yellow nozzle. It's probably my favorite. It's definitely my go-to. Let me know in the comments what nozzle you guys prefer to use. And we've got a text here from Harper. She's typing. She's looking around our new office. So apparently she's inside while we are outside washing, which is very interesting. I don't believe we're ever going to see any of the other characters, much like PowerWash 1. We're not really going to see anyone else. It's just us here in this world. It's okay. Just us and the cats. And all the chaos that's probably going on in other places while we're here. For those that don't know, there is a plot to the first game. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but there are events that happen. We receive clues and messages throughout the levels that we complete that kind of give us an idea of what's happening in the world of Muckingham and this county. So I'm curious to see what the story is going to be for this game, if there is one, and how long ago that was. I really don't know the time frame between what happened in the last game and where we are now. It looks like we've moved up in the world. We've got our own little office here, but I'm curious how long it's been. I also personally prefer jobs like this, where it's big flat surfaces, easy stuff. It's not very fiddly or small bits that need to get cleaned. There are some levels that have the most obscure things to get cleaned. I think one of the ones that took me the longest in the previous game was the ancient temple. That took me a good couple hours to get through. As I said before, the visuals in this game are vastly superior to the previous game. The water looks more wet, if that makes sense. The dirt looks like it's physically there. It's grittier, I guess, is a good way to put it. And the mirrors look just so good. Everything looks fantastic. We missed a spot on this tire back here. That's a fumble with the buttons. It used to be that to show where the dirt was, it would be tab in the previous game. So that's what I keep hitting that by accident, because it has now been rebounded to Q. At the moment, we cannot change what the keybinds are. I was reading through one of the devlogs where they were saying that they are trying to work on it, but it's not as high a priority right now as some other bug fixes and a couple other things that they want to get out. I also like that they don't just have one type of dirt, I guess, on these cleans. Like, they did this in the previous game too, but there are stuff that comes off super easily, and then there's the stuff like this kind of grime that you have to get in there with the other nozzle and really scrape it off almost. Got our little step stool here. Change the nozzle, and let's hop up and get the roof, or sorry, the hood of this truck clean. Ooh, jumped a little too high there, getting out of the crouch. Oh, we have another text from Harper. She's gonna put the word out in town about our PowerWash services. I'm glad that she's so connected. Very, very useful. Business names. Oh no. We're gonna get back to being called the Dirt Finder General. Can't wait. While I'm curious to see what they came up with for this game, map-wise, I am also curious to see if they reference any of the places that we had in the previous game. Like, there was the fairgrounds with all like the carnival rides. I'm curious if we're gonna go back there. The desert, I'm curious to see if anything else happens over there. There's a lot that I'm interested in seeing, because we have this opportunity now to wash things in our own store, I guess you could call it, our own location. So I'm wondering how many jobs are going to be here versus us going out into the world. This is a tough angle here since we hold the power washer on our right side. You're also going to see throughout this that I flip through the nozzles seemingly randomly. It's just I scrolled the wrong direction, went to the wrong nozzle, but that's okay. Got there in the end. Alright, just one side left and the interior. Again, with interiors, I do prefer to work top to bottom, so I'm going to tackle the ceiling in here first. So what I like to do is I'll get the seam in between the ceiling and the walls. Get that done first so I can kind of see the space I'm working with. Buckingham chat. Oh gosh, there's a group chat for the town. She said hit us up, which means Harper works with us now. It's very interesting. Lila Jackson. I don't know who that is. I can only imagine the chaos that goes on in the Buckingham group chat. Like I was saying with the visuals, you can really see the dirt kind of flecking off the wall here, which looks so great. I don't know if I would personally ever put a carpet inside like a cargo van or like a moving truck, but maybe it's to keep the items inside safe. I don't know. Wouldn't be my first choice. This roller shutter is probably one of the most difficult things to clean in this level, just because you have to get right up into it to get all of the dirt out. There's a bit of a glare, so it's kind of hard to see, but we got there in the end. Here's that carpet we were just talking about. I try not to use the show dirt that often, but there are times where I just want to make sure that I got something fully clean, so I'm not hunting around at the very end looking for like the last little bits that I missed. Although there are always bits that I'm going to miss. Goodbye, smiley face. You will be missed. And as we get to the end here, we're at 99%. There's a couple of things left that we haven't fully finished. So we're going to go on the hunt and try to get those. What I do like about this game, that little target that's just popped up, that is going to tell us exactly what is still dirty, which is very helpful. Although, I have a hard time figuring out right at the end here what we're supposed to be looking for. But I'll figure it out. Eventually. You can see that it's actually glowing too. Now that I've actually realized that, I can see what still needs to be cleaned. Once you spot it, the game gets rid of the little tool tag. Rinse and repeat. It's a great name. Here's our time lapse. And that's it. Job done. First dibs on any furniture. Amazing. So we're going to be able to decorate that space inside with any furniture that Jessica finds for us. Can't wait. But let's return to our home base. We're back in the office. Our new job is up on the board, but we're going to take a look at this furniture that's up for sale. We have access to a free rug and a free couch. If it's free, then it's for me. Why not? Gotta start somewhere, right? We have the retro rug out here in the washroom. We just got home from work. Got home from a power washing job, and we're here power washing in our free time. We just love it that much. Alright, let's go find a good spot for this. Thinking over here by the window. Not letting me put it down. It's a little bit finicky, but that's okay. There we go. Now let's take a look at this couch. Looks like it's almost patchwork. I'm less methodical with these indoor jobs, I feel like. That's okay. Let's try out this other power washer. You can definitely feel there's a bit more strength to it, which is awesome. Genuinely, I would have one of these kinds of sofas. It's gorgeous. And that's it. Let's go put this out. It's not letting me put it down by the window, but that's okay. Find a new spot for it. The furniture placement is a little bit finicky at the moment. I'm sure in later patches it'll work itself out. Okay, so we can't put it on top of the rug, but let's try to put it against this wall. Let's try to get a little closer. There we go. Perfect. So that's it. We're going to decorate our space after every job. It sounds like a fun little mini game almost. That's all the time I have for this episode, but there will be more. Thanks for watching.